resignation speech where giving people high fives, right?
Yeah.
And some people thought that was really funny. And
Yeah.
Is that the reaction that you intended?
No, I see in whatever you do, there will be people who say that's a great idea. These are the positive people. And there are people who say, what a stupid idea. These are the negative people. So I just have to, I can do a survey and come and say, how many things is a positive idea? How many things is a negative idea? The high five concept, which represents the 5 values, some of my supporters like it so much. They say, don't do handshake, just do high five. When I go to the market and I meet people, whenever there's children, I say high five. The children do it with me, and their parents then warm up. So I think there will always be people who are positive and people who are negative. So I like to. One of my values is to be positive, unless I get a majority who say what a stupid idea. I don't want to bother so much about negative people. I want to encourage them to be positive. Always, whatever you see, look at the bright side, not the negative side. And I hope more Singaporeans in the future will adopt the values of positive, honest, and fair and courageous, and very important, public service. Public service is what can bring people and the government together. Now, I've been asked also in the round table organized by the Straits Times, what is the thing that will unify people of different ethnic groups? What will unify people? And I say it has to be problems that they share. And I think many people share the problem, struggling with how to cope with life, working long hours, no time to date, no time to get married, no time to have children. And I say if these are important issues, we need to have cost of living lower so that the wages can be enough and people have more time. This is what I call a better life for the people. And if the people knows that the leaders, whether it's the president or the government, is addressing this issue, they will come together and feel proud to be Singaporeans and feel proud that their leaders understand. Therefore, I want to encourage not only the president, but the ministers also to say, let's recognize public service. We don't need extremely high salary, the highest among the top CEOs. We can have a more modest salary. Then the people will come and say, yes, the government leaders are there for public service, not to earn the high salary, but for public service. I want to set that example. I believe this will unify people when they know the leaders are close to them. And I want to also pass this message to the people of Singapore. Here is your chance. Here is your chance to give a message that you want leaders to embrace public service. You want the leaders to be positive, to help find the solution. And they can do that best by casting their vote for Tan Kin Lian.
As president, you will be able to appoint 2 people onto the Council of Presidential Advisors. So the personal council will be a part of that?
Yes.
Who are you going to?
I will not tell you who they are now, but definitely must be people who share my same values. And my values are honesty, fairness, positive attitude, courage and public service. So people who share my value, I will appoint them. I will need to appoint 2. So I won't give names now. It's too presumptuous. But it certainly will be people who share my values. And it's a separate council from the Legal Council of Presidential Advisors. Mine is the personal council. These are people who step forward to help me. Like when I come into this campaign, I have got 80 people who step forward and say they want to help me for whatever reason, because they like me, they like my values, they know the kind of people I am. I'm sure later on there will be other people who says they like to be involved in the President's personal council and contribute in what they can do. Now I mentioned that you need to have a lot of people in the panel who could be expert in different areas, and different areas could be on housing, on health, on education. There are quite a lot, but I am actually quite encouraged. If you take a look at retired civil servants, retired business leaders in Singapore, I'm one of them. I have got 30 years of experience. Of course, I'm retired. But there are many people like me, many. And in Singapore, we are not tapping their experience. I hope to tap their experience.
So it's like a silver talent.
You can call it a silver talent, but in order to solve a problem, you need people to spend time to discuss. So it cannot be answer plucked from the air. So you need people to spend time and to discuss. And you need a process of actually voting by a panel. Here is an idea. It got its plus and minus. Do you think it's worth doing?
So
and some people will say,
you can just set it up this personal council.
yes, we set up groups of people very easily. We register in the association. We ask for membership. Yes, it can be done.
So the voting will be done not just by the panel, but like you said, 50 to 100 people, even more than
Okay, the panel is representing the wider group of people. The 50, the council could be a smaller one. So you need to have a panel, a bigger panel of people. You also need people who can spend time to evaluate the suggestion. So it can be involving quite a few hundred people. And this could be a very good avenue for bringing in the silver talent, but also younger people who wants to learn about how to involve in social dynamics. The younger people can come in. But this is what I think can be done. But as you know, a lot of work has to be done. My first task is to convince the people of Singapore that this voice of the people is something that can make a difference in their life. And if enough people believe the voice of the people can make a difference, they like this process I described, then give me your vote.
You think the panel that will vote is you're looking at a few hundred of people. Your personal council, what numbers are you looking at?
It should be about 10 to 20.
10 to 20.
Yeah. And this will be the one who makes the policy decision. After getting the vote, they can discuss and then submit to me which idea or proposal, maybe one or two a month, would be best to look at.
This do not need to be approved by the PM or anything like that. You can just set up
In Singapore, we are often wanting to wait for permission. Okay, so I don't want to wait for permission. I'm going to do it. And then I hope the PM did promise that he will be constructive. He wants to have a constructive relationship. And if I bring ideas that are representing the views of large numbers of people and they have been validated, I have confidence that the PM will welcome that input. And I don't want to make his job more difficult. I think these are useful input representing the views of the people that can help him in that process. I also believe that when you engage people, it will help to build trust in the government. There's openness and transparency, and it will help to make people feel proud to be Singaporeans.
So you will set this up when you get elected, of course, not?
Of course.
You have it in mind, right? The people that you want.
Of course, if I'm elected, the first task is to open Parliament. And there are enough things to do over there. But I'm sure I can get my supporters who like this idea of the personal President Council. This came from one of my supporters and is supported by a few other people. Of course, I agree. Now, these are not just my ideas. Of course, my idea is the voice of the people. Even the voice of the people is not just my idea. Because I asked in the survey, it says, which is the most important thing you want the president to do? And I give them about 10, 15 items. The voice of the people come up at the top, followed by the independence from the government, followed by safeguard the reserves. So these are representing the views of 100 people who participate to my survey. and these three came out very high. That's why I decided to adopt this as my platform, and that's why when some people tell me it cannot be done, I have a positive attitude. It can be done.
So after you've gotten the ideas from your panel and your personal council, will you submit it to the PM privately, or will you issue a release, tell the public about it as well, or how will that happen?
In the process of being constructive, I will discuss with the PM privately and hopefully have some understanding. Even if he doesn't agree, there's no need to make it public because he may have some reason, and we must respect his priority as well. So I don't think there's need to create an issue because sometimes even an idea needs some time for people to appreciate. So we'll have a nice process so long as what the PM did promise to be constructive. And I think with that attitude, we can find out which are the ones we can push forward. Okay, thank you.